Okay, good afternoon. I'm Mayor Francis Suarez, the mayor of the city of Miami. Obviously, we're all here because tomorrow there's going to be an event in downtown Miami at the Courthouse, and we wanted to assure the public that we've already begun preparations for the event tomorrow. We're joined here by the Chief of Police, Chief Morales, and we'll talk about what our plan for security is for tomorrow to make sure that everyone has a right to peacefully express themselves and exercise their constitutional rights, and obviously do it in a peaceful manner. In our city, we obviously believe in the Constitution and believe that people should have the right to express themselves, but we also believe in law and order. And we know that, and we hope that tomorrow will be peaceful. We encourage people to be peaceful in them demonstrating how they feel, and we're going to have the adequate forces necessary to ensure that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Manny Morales, Chief of Police, City of Miami. Since the moment the announcement was made, we have been planning and preparing to ensure that the City of Miami is safe and secure. I can assure all our residents, our stakeholders, and the visitors that are in the city at this time that we are working very closely with our federal, state, and local partners to make sure that we have a comprehensive approach, right, that is going to ensure that we maintain not only peace and order, like the mayor said, but that everyone has the right to express themselves and the First Amendment rights. As he mentioned before, we're going to be using a unified command approach, meaning that all the individuals that are able to make any type of significant decision that impacts the deployment of resources or the shifting of strategies and techniques that we're going to be using to keep the city safe will be in the same room all together, working in unison. We will be conducting layered approach, right? So at the beginning, depending on the crowd size, we're going to determine what street closures or what detours are necessary, but what we really don't want is inconvenience anybody. Make no mistake about it, we're taking this event extremely serious. We know that there is a potential of things taking a turn for the worst, but that's not the Miami way, right? We have plenty of experience not only working together, we have extremely high confidence of the residents and the folks that live here in the city of Miami. They are used to demonstrating, they are used to exercising the First Amendment rights, and they are incredibly respectful and supportive of law enforcement here in South Florida. So even though we're preparing, we're bringing enough resources to handle crowd anywhere from 5,000 to 50,000. We don't expect any issues, right? So we appreciate the public's help, everybody going out there and expressing themselves in a peaceful and civil manner.
Two more questions.
Sir, Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
Andrew Feinberg with The Independent. The last time former President Trump called for protests on a date certain,
Yeah.
there was a riot where there were police officers, hundreds of them injured, some died afterwards. Have you considered asking the former president not to call for protests? Have you spoken to him?
I have not spoken to him. I don't have his phone number. But I will tell you that during the George Floyd protest, there were tens of thousands or thousands of people on our streets in Miami. We were prepared. I think we were a model for how to deal with those protests in the country. And I have full faith and confidence that our department, as the chief just said, that has dealt with many kinds of protests that are very, very large, will have the right action plan and will have the right resources in place to make sure that there are no incidents.
Mr. Mayor, do you agree with the chief that there's nothing to fear?
I think the chief has been clear. Give me one second. I think the chief has been clear that we're taking this very seriously, and that we are prepared for what will happen tomorrow.
Going to be designated areas
We need to know
for
this,
the
sir.
supporters versus the protesters, because in honesty, the two of them mixing might be the biggest trouble of all.
Gotcha.
So the logistics downtown make that a little bit difficult. Obviously, if we select based on the crowd size as we're making our determination and we're stepping up our strategic plan, we will have a First Amendment designated area that will have sight and sound. And if we begin to see that there's opposing parties, we'll at that time make sure that they're they're separated, and there's plenty of officers on the scene to make sure that we maintain the safety and security of all.
Can you talk a little bit about the coordination between the city police department and the county, which, you know, in the George Floyd protest, you all work very closely in coordination. It is a larger.
It's a seamless relationship. The county and the city of Miami have an incredible working relationship. That was the very first call that I got when the event was announced from Director Freddie Ramirez. What do you need from us? And they have always been there for us and synonymous with us. We work together.
Supporters of the former president can go anywhere around the streets, sir? I'm just trying to understand how this, you're gonna be able to, you're not gonna have any areas designated for them, they can just go anywhere they want around the perimeter of the
That's what the freedom of speech is.
That's what your plan is?
Yeah.